4, 11, 12, and 14 in today's ninth race. The main track is fast. The turf will be the outer turf. The outer turf is firm. 9 races on today's card, and the pick 6 starts in race 4 and taking you through the entire card this afternoon is Talking Horses with Andy Serling and Greg Wolf. It's all next in beautiful New York at Aqueduct. Good luck.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. Greg Wolf and Andy Serling as we kick off another week here to Big A. One last week of turf racing. We're going to try to run the outer turf. We have a couple races scheduled every day, and weather permitting, we'll have a few more turf races before we hibernate for the winter.
Yeah, bonus turf action. And I really like the card today. I do.
Okay, maybe you'll give us some winners because I'm not sure I'm really that enlightened on today's card, but we'll see how things go.
I didn't say I was enlightened.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out about 5 hours how enlightened we were. Head over to Naira Bets. Use the promo code BONUS200. We'll match the $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. We have a $40 buy-in to the feeder contest for Saturday's contest. Of course, you can always just play Saturday's contest. You have until post time tomorrow for the feeder and until post time Saturday for the contest. Go to nairabets.com/contest. for more information. What else do we have, Eddie? $15 bonus. If you're betting Churchill and Aqueduct today, opted for this, $75 or more at Aqueduct and Churchill, you get a $15 bonus. Win, lose, or draw. We've got a show, 12 to 4:30, covering all of today's action. Race number 1, going 7 furlongs on the dirt. And right now they're making Britain a heavy favorite. I'm not sure I quite get this horse, but I guess it's Chad Brown and Flavien Prat, so is destined to be a super short price. And he'll probably win, even though I don't really like this horse.
$1 million filly who was asked to go 7/8 of a mile in the debut against, I understand she regressed winning the Tempted, but Schilling came back, did win the Tempted for Ken McPeak, 10 Beyer points slower, but she got to do it on pretty easily forward position that day. I just think there's a lot of upside here, room to move forward. Obviously, the pedigree's there, and she was expensive. I think she will move forward quite a bit in that second start.
Maybe she will. I don't like the fact that she was $1 million yearling that took no money for Chad Brown first time out. That bothered me. You've got Chad and Flavien first time, and you're 4-1. To me, that's just a bad sign. I mean, obviously the horse could win. Just feels like bad value for me. Now, there isn't a lot to do here because the two that ran, Cravings and Backstreet, I mean, Backstreet was a little bit wide. I'm not sure if I really think she's much, but she was a bit wide in there. As far as Cravings, she too was a little bit wide in there on a day you probably wanted to be down on the inside, not a huge bias of any sort. But I thought that was a pretty live race. And I'm just taking a shot that a horse who took a little bit of money first time out for a barn that's been live this year will improve and show more speed here. Just hoping to be a little bit more forward in here and took a shot with this one because I wasn't thrilled with the one.
Britain's going to, I don't know about 3 to 5, but it's going to be a short price, incredibly short.
And he's going to go.
Maybe he's going to be odds on. And I have zero confidence in the horse. I picked the horse. This is a race I want coverage.
Well,
I will say that. I don't have strong conviction here in any regard. I even think the 5's interesting outside. I thought Backstreet's race you brought up, the 4, was not terrible. Actually made a little bit of a move and could certainly move forward second start.
I don't think ran significantly worse than the winner, to be honest. I mean, the 1 did that race and is going to be a much bigger price. I mean, the other Chad horse, Pomerantz, a half to 1,000 words. Nobody else in the family's good, but they paid $700,000 for a Curlin. I mean, obviously, this is the kind of pedigree that you think is going to be a potential Derby type horse. Whether or not that works out that way, I don't know.
1,000 words was the first out winner.
Yeah, I mean, the two other foals from the dam were pretty bad, but 1,000 words was pretty good for Baffert. I don't know. I just don't want to default to Flavien with this horse. I just feel like you're going to get the worst of it with this horse, so I'm going to play against.
Okay.
For better or worse? Probably for worse. Race number 2, we'll take a look at our friend Off Script. This is on the dirt 2 back, losing at even money. Lady Delilah finishing 3rd and easily beating Lady Delilah. Maybe today is the day for Off Script. At some point you wonder, is this horse just going to find a field that he can't help or she can't help but beat? I can't pick her, but
I desperately wanted to, and this is her weakening, right, to finish second. I desperately wanted to pick against her. You see 6 for 8 runner-ups, but then you look at that record a little bit more closely, and on dirt, 4 runner-ups from 6 starts. On fast dirt, 3 runner-ups from 3 starts. Take out the debut against Accelerating, who was pretty good. I always forgive a debut. So that's now 2 starts, 2 runner-ups. Take out the one where she went to the bench for 9 months. So that's actually 1 runner-up from 1 start on dirt. I'm actually not quite as critical.
She lost at 1 to 2 and 3 to 5 for Chad Brown.
That's fine. I mean, she went to the bench for a long time for one of them. Another one was a debut. Valtellina won the Empire Distaff. It's turned out to be okay. I'm a little bit more forgiving than most I would be who are 6 for 8 lifetime, because I think the more you kind of break it down and take a look at it, it's not as damning as it might seem.
I disagree. I'm not saying she can't win, because this is a bad field on paper, and there's really nobody. I mean, we look at our preferred pal. It's another horse in here. She looks like the speed, and if you want to try to wire the field, you're going to bet on her. But I don't know. This is, I think, 3 races back for her back in May. I mean, she went up to Finger Lakes. She didn't get the best of trips in there, but she kind of stunk up there, and I just don't know if she's really that much horse. I mean, I agree. Off Script may win. The problem with what you're saying about her is, okay, you look at the dry track races, you're right, but you're kind of making excuses because it's not like she runs any differently on dirt and turf. She runs second on dirt. She runs second on turf. She just doesn't want to win, this horse. I mean, you don't think it's pretty conclusive that Off Script doesn't want to win?
No, I'm not sold on that yet.
Okay.
I think she's faced some okay horses, I think.
Okay. Hello Beauty, a turf horse in an off-the-turf race. I just feel like she may win, but, man, I don't want to short price her. And I agree. I don't really like any of the others. So I went to a firster in this race. There's some pedigree for this one. The dam actually ran okay in the dirt. A couple foals for Morgana's Moment were okay. And I just guessed with a first-time starter because I don't disagree with you. The horses that ran, I mean, if Off Script can't beat the horses that ran, then she's never going to win. Never going to win in New York. And she can't beat the horses that ran. So I'll bet the firster.
Your 6, I do think, is interesting. I put her 4th. Did produce a first-out winner, Baldassar, who started her 2 for 2.
Nice horse.
Merlin's Moment was actually pretty good second in the debut and then won next time out. So there's some precocity in that pedigree.
Bernardini, who, while not as good a sire as he was a racehorse, it's not bad in this kind of field. Thought this one could be a little interesting. Just taking a chance because I can't pick the 2 on top. I hear you. I can't pick her on top. So as we move on, speaking of horses that took a while to break their maiden, in race 3, we'll take a look at Sheer Will down on the inside for Linda Rice and look at her last race. And I'm with you. I mean, I'm guessing this horse takes money. I don't know. What price did David make this horse morning line? I don't know. These horses off of wins in fields like this take money. Ran a 65 buyer, is fast enough to win. I just don't like this horse.
It was not that fast a race.
It's not that fast a field.
It's not. But, yeah, took 9 starts, dropped in for maiden 20, 3rd time at that level, finally gets a win. I think there's better options.
Where did you go here?
I went to the 2.
Okay. Lone Speed?
I think this one is the speed of the speed. This horse has turf sprint speed, which to me means this is the fastest dirt horse in the field, who's proven it before. And I think that Ruben Silveira, who we know is never shy about being aggressive, just has to go. And if this horse can go, can get loose on the front, relax on the front end without equipment change, and can last and finish.
I don't disagree with any of that. I picked the horse second. I see the exact same things. The problem that I have is this horse recent form is so bad. And I think we all see it's going to be Lone Speed. And I agree. I would not leave this horse out. But I just wonder if this horse can run anymore. I mean, her recent efforts couldn't even make the lead last time at Finger Lakes. Was sloppy, but was a heavy favorite. Fell apart with the lead 2 back. Fell apart with the lead 3 back at Finger Lakes. I don't know. She might win, but man, she's hard to trust. So I went to the other horse, the horse that you have second here. That's Funny, who is taking a significant drop in class. And if you kind of look and take the horse's races apart, this horse ran against some better horses, Hey Cookie, Purloin. These are better horses than these. I think the track on August 15th was a day that speed was dominant. 2 races back, tried to close in that, still ran a 66 buyer. And I just thought That's Funny. The morning line favorite was the horse to beat, so I went to this one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
don't
I have that
any
horse
clever
second.
to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it will be fun. It's going to take a lot of money because it's Flavien Prat in the outside. But I don't know. Blinkers on for a horse that just
Has a lot of issues out of the gate,
a
too.
lot of slow races too, right? I mean, just not very quick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Flavien's Flavien, but I don't know. This horse just doesn't seem very good. But I suppose Flavien could win every race he's in. Race number 4, going 1 1/8 miles. And there's a big scratch in this race. And Eddie, you want to show the second replay first, if you don't mind, of Aaliyah. Because I think the important thing to note in this race is that with the scratch, Aaliyah, we'll look at second at Laurel last time, she is loose, but you got to try to get her to get 1 1/8 miles, which worries me a little bit.
Yeah, it's worrying, especially considering she didn't last at a mile last start. It was second off a bit of a layoff.
But I think
Missed a
ran
good
well enough
portion
to
of the
beat
year.
this field.
Yeah, she ran a very good figure, and
A little slow.
she's definitely interesting. I have her third in here. I do not want Whiskey and Soda off that long of a layoff, trying to get 1 1/8 miles, but does have 2 pretty big races I'm aware of. Obviously that Saratoga race, August of 24, that 1 1/8 miles race as well at Saratoga in July of 24, but that's just a long time away to try and get it done at this distance.
And Michelle is 1 for 23 off the claim in dirt routes. And I agree. Claim from Linda took a long time to get back to the track and win, but I agree, especially at a short price. So we both went to the other short price in here, Flat On, and we'll take a look at Flat On's last race, finishing third. And I know the horse didn't run great as the favorite, but this was just a better field than he's facing today, wasn't it?
I think so, and ran a lot faster figure than what really anyone could do in here. And one of the
agree.
best races he's ever run, at least this past year, has been at 1 1/8 miles. He can be forward. He doesn't have to have the lead. There's just a lot of things in his favor,
I
and
agree.
he's fairly, for this level, consistent enough that you can rely on him as I thought maybe a horse to lean on.
And that I agree. And that the other thing about Aaliyah is it's not like her chief competition or his chief competition is going to be compromised because Flat On has speed.
Yeah.
So Flat On can sit outside of Aaliyah. It's not like suddenly Aaliyah was one of 2 speeds in a race full of slows.
Yeah.
The main competition figures to be stalking, so his advantage is not that significant. I'm with you on Flat On here, and I agree with you. It's a horse that I think a lot of people will lean on in multi-race bets. Race 5 begins and ends at pick 5. We'll take a break after this race. And I do think it's important to note that in this race, scratch has changed things with
A
Fast
lot.
Kimmy coming out, as well as She's an Arctic Queen. And we take a look at It Takes Heart and Coquito, and I have a Coquito on top. Thought about changing my picks here because It Takes Heart, who I think took advantage of a good rail this day, is loose again, but I felt like Coquito was compromised by being off of the rail in here. Not way off it, but off of it.
Yeah.
I took Coquito.
I'm not a big Coquito fan. It certainly could win. As you said, both the 6 and 8 coming out really
Changed
helps
this
the
race.
2, and it made me think long and hard actually about putting this horse on top.
I agree.
This horse digs in and is a fighter. That was a really good figure. One of the best this horse has run in a long time.
I'm worried it was bias-aided, though, a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But still, there's other races you can go back to that put this horse right there as well.
I agree. No, that's
it's
fair.
not just
that's,
that race.
That's very fair. So you've taken She's Cool off
Yeah.
a win against
Wow, you don't have
conditional
anywhere, huh?
claimers. Yeah, why would I like this horse? Did I miss something?
That last race is the fastest of anyone in the field
On
ever.
Thoroughgraphs.
Yep.
Okay.
Rudy's starting this meet pretty good. 28%. I love the outside post. I love that this horse can sit and stalk. And Kakito, I need Kakito now to try and pressure the 2, where this does not work out.
Yeah, I don't like this horse. I think that she beat a bad field last time. I think it's a much tougher field. I agree about the post. I don't disagree. This horse has back races that are good enough to win this race. I'm not going to argue against that. I'm not a big fan of this horse, but I could certainly be wrong. It's not like I have a huge opinion here. I just thought Kakito was a horse that last time out, didn't have the worst of trips, but did have a little bit of trouble, steadied a little bit on the backstretch, had some trouble, tried to come between horses. Just thought this was a logical type horse for Linda, taking another slight drop in class. Might be able to stalk a little bit more. Maybe Kendrick gets a little more aggressive. I am concerned, though, with the scratches, but I think Kakito can sit second. It takes heart. What about My First Love? You're not a fan of her at all in this race? She drops down.
I'm not.
No? But she had a good trip when she won 2 back. I won't disagree with that. And she didn't run very well last time. I will not disagree with that. We'll see. I thought she ran well enough, though, off the layoff. Maybe she just regressed the second time, so I would use her a little bit.
Yeah. Look, these lower-level races.
I know. It's
not gonna
hard to
shock
get
me.
overly excited about anybody in race 5. We'll take a break. We'll be back, and we have 2 turf races in the late pick 4.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
We're back. Welcome back to Talking Horses. Greg and Andy, race number 6 on the turf. Turf is listed as firm. A big scratch in this race when the 8 Garden of Grace came out. And I guess we'll start with a replay that shows 5 Dozen Roses, who I thought you picked 5 Dozen Roses on top.
No, I wound up taking the 5.
Okay, we'll get to the 5. Sorry about that. Oh, we have a replay for that horse. But I thought this horse ran fine in there. I thought Garden of Grace, so I actually picked on top. I wanted a little bit more, switched from Ricardo. That horse isn't going to play. I don't love 5 Dozen Roses, but, I mean, this race isn't she a perfectly logical horse. I just took a horse that's going to switch to Javier Castellano here, that showed a lot of speed, and I'm going to hope that Javier can try to be aggressive. I realize that you know better, probably has speed with Flavian, but I was kind of hoping that Frog Hollow Summer maybe could try to wire the field in here. I didn't have a strong opinion. I scratched into this horse. You obviously don't particularly disagree.
This, to me, is one of the most interesting races on the card because of who you picked on top.
Okay.
I love this horse. Each of the last 2 starts, I thought I was going to get the win 2 starts ago when
you
this
look
horse
like
took
you
the
were.
blinkers off at almost 12-1. For this horse to win today, and I like that switch, huge to Javier Castellano.
I agree.
We got to see, and I think we should, Purest Performance do something different, because at 52-1 last time out, Purest Performance, the one in this race, battled Frog Hollow Summer, went to the front with that horse, and they went head-and-head, and that did in Frog Hollow Summer.
That's a good point.
This horse is historically better not going to the lead. When this horse goes to the lead sprinting, it doesn't work out.
Who,
so I'm
the
hoping,
one?
The one.
Well,
so
it's
I'm hoping,
show for 20. It's never worked out.
but just runs better races generally. Yeah. So I'm hoping that
right, if she's pinned inside as a speedier, she'll be nowhere.
Yeah,
she's got
so
no chance.
Hopefully they don't go on a mission again, because that will ruin Frog Hollow Summer's chances to win again. And if Frog Hollow Summer doesn't have that horse, as you said too, we don't know if the 6 has turf speed. Might.
Right. She could have.
I don't know.
Right.
But I'm hoping that we don't know that yet. I'm going to go with the 7, who is the speed of the speed and could get loose. But that horse is very interesting again. But having said that, I wound up going to the 5.
We'll take a look at broke all the rules, the Meadowlands last time out. I mean, the horse that beat this horse is pretty bad. Rick, for what it's worth, is 1 for 10 turning back on the turf with a 66 cent ROI. He's 0 for 4 with maidens trying to do it. I don't know.
I thought this horse showed a little bit of fight. It was start number 2, stretch out to a mile, first time on turf. I didn't see much of a bump and steady at the start. I did see this horse, though, getting pushed out and going about 4 to 5 wide around the first turn. The horse did get bumped in the stretch a little bit and did come back and fight on. I like the move this horse made to get into contention coming out of the turn. And maybe we'll see if the cutback helps here and gets Lasix. But I ran a figure that was, I think, can show, if the horse can sprint, going to be interesting in here cutting back.
I'm going to use Lupine, the half to Yarrow. Is a Caravaggio. Yarrow was, I can't read my handwriting, but I think less of a turf stallion.
4-time winner on turf.
Yeah, and a couple,
Peony, 3-time winner on turf.
Yeah, she was okay. The best was Yarrow. This horse has a lot of pedigree and finds herself in a field that's not that good. So I was going to use Lupine as well. I'm going to use 7s and 2s for the most part in here.
Yeah.
Kind of take a shot. We'll see what happens in race 6. Race 7, I would say, is the feature on today's card. And let's start with Film Star and Full Screen. And I'm going to try to beat Ben Duke with Full Screen because I'm a little tired of Ben Duke, and we'll show a replay for him and talk about him afterwards. But let's start with that replay, if you don't mind, Eddie, with the two of them. I worry that Film Star, man, I wouldn't have wanted to claim this horse away from Linda for $100,000. And I thought this horse, this is, what do you, okay, you're showing Ben Duke first, Eddie, even though I thought it was second. So, okay, we'll show Ben Duke. This is last time out. I got to tell you something. I'm a little tired of this horse losing, Ben Duke. I'm just getting tired of him. Am I wrong?
I had such high expectations. I was so excited about this horse.
He's a disappointment. He's a good horse that's disappointing. Yeah, and he's a really talented horse. I'm sure it's more frustrating for the connections.
Having said that, he's pretty darn good.
He is. But he's piling up the seconds, man, and he's a weird horse. I didn't want to take him on top at a short price.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. But he just loses, Now, to be fair, he hasn't been favored the last 4 races, so it's not as though he's lost races he was absolutely supposed to win. I don't know. But as we go to the other replay, the Film Star replay, and this is at Saratoga, 2 back at 1 1/8. And I know Film Star won this. I wouldn't go in for $100,000 off a horse that Linda Rice has been doing great with. It just feels to me like you're going to struggle to get the horse to reproduce those performances. And as good as he is and as logical he is, if you're beating Ben Duke, I think Full Screen might be more interesting now in Brad Cox's barn. And Brad had him in this race. I thought he ran well to be second in this race, and I think he's going to beat him today.
Okay, I've loved Film Star. I think he's such a great veteran,
he's a
professional
totally cool horse. I agree with you.
But it is a little concerning.
He was
coming
bad
out of that
last
barn.
time.
But going to Parks, sometimes we can't forgive. It's a little bit like Kentucky Downs.
I agree. It's the Kentucky Downs of dirt tracks. Yeah, I agree. They have grade 1s that shouldn't be grade 1s, so I think that's fair. I'd keep the Cotillion a grade 1, not the other race.
Yeah.
Want to know got a stud deal from winning.
This horse, I think, rebounds, though, and is pretty good. I still think he's a cut below Ben Duke.
Yeah.
But not by much.
I'm worn out of Ben Duke. Ben Duke did beat him by 3/4 of a length at 2 to 5 back in May. So there is that going
And then
for him.
there's the really interesting kind of new face here, Warp 9, who's produced big figures at 3 different racetracks. Not here in New York, though.
Welcome to New York.
But at Parks, at Delaware, and at Laurel, all figures that make this horse sort of at least on par with Film Star.
I'll tell you what's really interesting about him. He is a very, very rare horse that was claimed away from Ken McPeek that improved dramatically. I mean, Ken McPeek, to me, is one of the toughest trainers to claim from in the game. Horses claimed from him, it seems like they just don't win. This horse didn't just win. He improved dramatically since Kenny had him. Now, I guess it's fair, Kenny, but he wasn't totally running him on the turf all the time. Just interesting,
Yeah.
Because he's a tough trainer to claim from, and this horse clearly improved. And Golden Ice, I guess Benjamin Dunn has been winning. He's with all the horses he's been running. A lot of it's that horse that won here, W something. He won on the claiming the Star today. The trainer of Golden Ice. He's 4 for 5 since starting out down at Parks.
Yeah.
We'll see how this one does, but looks like he's going to have to improve to beat these horses, though he seems to have improved in this barn already. Race number 8. Well, I hate to cop out in race number 8, and I know you do too.
I did not pick this horse originally. I scratched into it.
Really? Well, that's depressing for you. And here's Danzig winning 2 races back. Came back in a tough field last time. We've seen how good Fully Subscribed has run, and I don't love defaulting to this horse. But Greg, who am I supposed to pick? I've got Penn Street second, trying to get a 1 1/8 with that horse. At least I know Danzig's supposed to get a 1 1/8. I wouldn't love to be single to this horse to be alive for some kind of score, but I don't. He's gonna be 3 to 5 with Flavian. I just didn't find anybody else I wanted to bet.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Second
got
off the
misfortune
layup,
of
1 at a
betting.
mile. And I think Midnight Concerto is a little bit interesting.
But there's no pace to run at. You've got
That's the
pace to
problem.
run. That's the
That's the
problem.
problem.
There's absolutely no speed. I
That's
mean,
why
Danzig
ultimately I didn't put her on top.
walking on the front end. That's the problem with Midnight Concerto. I agree with you. She ran fine in the dirt last time, but she also got a lot of pace to run at.
Yeah.
But she ran well enough that she could win this race, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put her lower because of her lack of speed, whereas I felt like a horse like the One, maybe even Kendrick could be somewhat aggressive, though they're not very fast either. I mean, Danzig not only looks like the best horse in the race, but has a pace advantage on these, right?
Yes. Big time.
Really hard to go anywhere else. Anything else?
Minor interest in Walk With Me. Minor.
Seems a little slow.
That's the issue.
But can be
there's an
forward, can
okay
be
race
stalking
she's
the
coming out
4,
of.
and could be in a race where the dynamics favor her,
Yeah.
at least from that standpoint, more so than some recent races. I don't like the loss at Finger Lakes. Race number 9, we are on the turf, and it's important to note in race number 9, the 13 gets in, Leave Me. And I know it's an outside post, but this is kind of the horse to beat, this horse with Jack's World. And I didn't show that replay because I didn't know if Leave Me would get in there. I'm hoping Jack's World rebounds. I know that he was disappointing last time. He ran very well in his first start in the turf. He did not run as well last time. He and Leave Me are very much the 2 horses. I'm going to use them with the horse you have on top, but I'll let you talk about George's Gold.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree with you. Jack's World is the one to beat. The blinkers on may be the difference in here. George's Gold debuted sprinting on dirt in what was a pretty good race. This horse, Medaglia d'Oro, is 13% in turf routes. The Dam produced a horse who, she was 2 for 2 sprinting both on the grass.
She was a
or 2 turf
flatter
sprints.
who's a bad turf sire.
Yeah, 2 for 2 sprinting on the grass. Produced Deuter, who was a first out winner at a mile and a 16th on the turf at Saratoga. And also produced Winifred J, who's, only 1 for 10 on the grass, but did run a 73
Deuter was
on
the
the
flatter.
turf.
I'm sorry, Deuter was the flatter.
Okay. So there is pedigree there. This barn as well has not done a lot of this move. 2-year-old dirt sprint stretching out to turf, but has been pretty successful with it when he has from limited starters for the last 5 years.
I'm the president of the Rossio de Paz fan club. I totally agree. I'm going to use this horse with the 2 logicals and hope that's good enough. You've got him third, but coach of the year, man, I wish this horse did a little bit of running.
Yeah. Dan produced General Ken, who's the award winner, I believe.
Oh yeah, it's a weird horse, right? Is he a Chad horse?
I believe
Is he a Chad horse they bought from Europe? He's some weird. What about Speedstra, the 10 with Joel on the I saw Joel. He's back, by the way. Glad to see him back. He's got a few more weeks here before he heads down to Oaklawn. I thought this horse was a little interesting to Justify. There's a little bit of pedigree on this horse, right?
Yeah, this.
Got Justify.
Yeah.
Horse has been bad.
Shouldn't be the 15 to 1 morning line.
Yeah.
This to me is one of the most. I think one of the most, if not the most interesting race on the card.
What about the $700,000 Yalpon Power Speed? Now they're trying long on the turf. I guess Todd is checking off boxes while he can to decide what to do with this New York bred.
Yeah.
He can't win going short of the dirt. He can always try him long in the dirt over the winter. So Todd's going to check off the long on
not?
turf box here.
You got a few extra days.
So you still got, Todd, you still got sprinting on the turf and you've got long on the dirt. So, check off 2 of them and then you go to long on the dirt, unless he wins here. I don't know. This horse hasn't demonstrated to me he has any ability at all, right? I guess he should be in front. Yes, he should be in front. I imagine that Johnny will be going to the lead. Who knows? All right, it was fun. Now we got further business to attend to. You have to go to Naira Bets, use the promo code BONUS200. We'll match the $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets, any track, anywhere, anytime. $40 buy-in for the feeder contest on Friday. The actual contest, $300 contest. If you don't play the feeder, you just want to play that, or you don't qualify. All that information over at NyraBets.com/contest. You have until post time Friday for the feeder, post time Saturday for the Saturday contest. $15 bonus if you're betting $75 or more today here and at Churchill. A couple weeks left at Churchill. My friend Caitlin Free, of course, who works in the Sim class. I believe that she is having her baby tomorrow, in case you're wondering.
Oh, congrats.
Texting with her yesterday. Yes. I thought it was really nice of her to choose a name that my nephew, she's named it. I don't know if she's naming after my nephew with the same name.
That must have been it, yeah.
Yes. I was looking at baby gifts. Baby gifts are like outrageously expensive. I feel
Are
so
they?
old. Well, I was looking at like silver cups at Tiffany's. They were like $300. I realized 30 years ago, and now they're like $800.
My kids are still waiting for the one from you.
Yeah, I know. I said to her, I'm very lame about giving gifts. Are they waiting hard? Who's waiting, you, Laura, or the kids?
No, the kids. They've been
Really?
asking.
Saying, when's Andy's gift
Yeah.
coming? Give them the bad news. I'm glad to hear they haven't given up. I'm the worst. And last but not least, I'm good at picking up dinner checks. I'm bad at everything else. 12 to 4:30 on FS2. Greg and I will be on for a great deal of that. Maggie and Acacia are here as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Chris Griffin's up next. The reprise of Scratched and Changes.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus.